Welcome everyone, this is Nichel Anderson. I'm your host for my podcast show, Surviving Your Journey Towards Success. All right, this is my last episode for my season 5, which is 2020 to 2021. Just before I get started, I just want to say a big thank you for everyone that has been supporting my podcast, sharing it, and looking forward to my episodes. So I do appreciate that. So I just want to say that right quick. And I'm very grateful to have a platform to be able to talk about topics that can heal us all, right? Healing is a blessing. I just want to say that. So today's episode, my finale, is about how to get peace and happiness in your life. So on my Twitter page, I always reinforce back to get your mental peace, because trust me, it matters. That's the key to in your heart, your endorphins, and being happy, right? So let's go ahead and start this. And before I do, like I always, let me go ahead and make a statement that in this day, I am thankful to the prime creator of all things, that I give thanks for this blessing and opportunity, that I will use it for the greater good. So welcome my survivors of the journey to my podcast that aims to inspire, motivate, encourage you to continue to have joyfulness in your heart, peace of mind, and for your sustained success. You want to sustain it, okay? And we're going to get into this. So I like to focus on the part about getting your peace, identifying, what's the best in your life and what's not. So my main points that I want to go over, and we're starting with my important points segment, is that number one, you want to define your worth. Okay, you don't want to allow those that want to take, to steal, to manipulate you into something that it's not you. Okay, and you want to be able to feel your worth, that it's okay. Everybody's not perfect. We heard that little cliche, but it's true. We're on a journey to learn things. So with that, we still have to be respected. So for those that want you to feel not happy or not the best, that's really sometimes the word we use here is pathetic selves, or not in line to feeling better. So they want to project that on you. You have to stand firm in the knowing that you are somebody of worth, and you're so special that all of those that rejected you really admire, but don't want to admit that they are admiring you. And by bringing you down, subtracting from your worth, makes them feel better for themselves. So that's dealing with negativity, which I do talk about a lot on this podcast because I have experienced it and I survived. And so here I am, want to share this with you. You too, right? So at any rate, number 2, we have to get ready to accept the truth for what it is that held us back from being happy. So we have to accept the truth. Truth is the power that once you can sustain that phase of understanding, when you're going through it, you got to take a step back, and then you have to accept it. And when you accept it, you get that understanding. When you get that understanding, you get that peace. And that builds more of number 1 by defining your worth, by basically saying, no, that's not mine. I'm not no part of that, right? Maybe I did this. Maybe I'm that. I'm learning, but I'm none of that. And so that's how you go through those phases. So number 3, you have to learn to say that you love yourself, that I love me. You know what I mean? Yes, I got this going on. Yes, I got that. I'm working on it. But at the end of the day, I can sit down at the table and I can eat my bowl of soup, which is reflective of the soul. And I'm happy. I'm humble enough. So by saying that you love yourself in that way of acceptance of everything, it makes you go on your life journey in a way that you're not stressed about what you can't change anymore, because time moves forward. So when we make a mistake or we fail or something, that is okay. So we learn from this and we move on. We share our experiences, help those. That's the 360, I like to say. It's the 360, boo. That's what it is. It's a giving to yourself and to others. And you will soar. Your emotional ability, intelligence will soar without being tied to fake expectations or trying to be perfect when you can't. And no matter what someone says or try to reduce your worth, because see, they're coming from that. That's the gold. And if you push that back No, I know what I'm worth. I know I'm somebody. I know I'm somebody. That's what you got to be. And then number two, I accept it. This is this and that. And I accept what you are. I like to go to my mentor, Maya Angelou. Once they show you who they are, you believe them. And once you know who you are, you believe that. All right, so fourth one is to say no. So the word itself has so many powers. If you really just practice it, you'll be amazed. It completely changed the game. They'll look at you funny. What did you say? No. No, I'm serious. What did you say? No. I even love saying it. But anyway, it amplifies your heart and your soul in alignment to what you will allow into your life and what you will not. You have to be the builder of your journey. You, no one else. And when you do that, you are in control. When you are in control, you change the game and you're able to have that power of self-esteem, and you're not depressed, because you better believe Mr. Fear and Mr. Depression are right there. Like, you want to come to this party, and you would say, no, I'm good. And it brings forth your power. Number 5, courage to do what's needed to be done to get your happiness. And that automatically delivers the mental peace on a platinum tray with all the goodness that Mother Earth, Father Earth, whatever you want to call it in that sense, a connective energy has to offer you. So courage is the ability to laugh it out if needed, and the healing cry if needed, while still being the strong pillar of strength to be humble and honest to do it, the things that you need to do, right, to gain your happiness. Courage is a way that you're standing firm in the positive and giving energy that allows you to rise above anything that is not of worthiness to the greatest goal, the greatest expression of living of your soul that seeks to evolve. So courage is another way to push back anything that refuses to accept your life journey of free will to choose. I'm going to say that again. The free will to choose and to do as you wish to do. Courage to say, I am somebody in the spectrum of living things, that I will rise into my destiny. I'm going to leave that and let that sink in a little bit there. My wisdom point, you want to stay strong in you. Stay strong and demand what you seek. If you want to be happy, have your mental peace. Who doesn't? Those miserable people that was trying to take away your work, they're miserable. Who? Just think about it. Why would you want to take something that's the essence of someone to grow? You have to learn from it, right? And everybody evolve. And those that don't, the ones that say, no, I'm going to keep going on, right? So when we choose to stand on truth, we have reached the plateau of what we were called to be, and to learn that our reward is our mental peace and happiness. That is the goal, right? That is it. And that's basically what I wanted to say today, my finale. I also want to share, again, like an experience for me as a child. It was a very toxic experience as a child. Well, I say both parents. They just wasn't nurturing. They did a lot of abandonment. And the birth, that's what I want to say, didn't appreciate the gift of having a child. So imagine as a child that you basically a psychiatrist and you're trying to figure this out. What is going on? Why is this happening? And that particular person that was granted that blessing from God was the totally opposite of what a mother should be. She just gave birth. The father, the seed donor, stayed away for years. And both of them never really apologized, never really said, you know what, I'm sorry about this, I didn't really mean it. None of it. They just, seed donor, just said, I tried this, really. Drove through the city thousands of times. Still, didn't have time to go see his own daughter. Right? So there's a lot of abandonment there that I had to get over. And then because that's not, she was basically just a birth. What I call it, birth woman. Anyway. And for that perspective was very wicked. So we're going to go there now. I'm sharing this because I survived. And the tools that was used by that awful female that was words that I wouldn't be what I am today. Words are power. You can use it to uplift or you to bring down. Anyhow, so she wouldn't stop until I cried, painful cries of believing a lie. And this is from someone that carried me for 9 months and then gave birth, still didn't connect it. And I remember when I was 4 or 5, maybe 7, you're different or something like that. Later on, I know what she was saying. She saw God in me. That's what that was. I kept saying, what do you mean? I have no car. I'm sitting here. I got the clothes that you bought. What are you talking about? And that's the spirit. And that's why I used to always say, it's something that you feel, but you do not really see in that regard. So you can feel to know what someone is. And as I got older, in my teenage years, she'll enter the room like she always do, fangs out to say awful things to me to make me cry. She was stealing my worth. Again, I would say something to defend, basically saying, no, not today. But you will continue to do that. In that particular time, when you try to stand up for yourself, you get exhausted because they won't let go. They just clung on to you. And I remember putting my head down, finally, like I always have learned, because you learn that behavior, that toxicity. And I was crying. And when I happened to look up and she turned around, she smiled. And that showed me, that was the universe showing me, you are somebody of worth. And I never forgot that moment. And that's where the no comes into play that I learned. I could say no to this because it's not coming to me to say, I'm trying to help you to that. Why? I'm emotionally distraught. I don't feel good about myself. So this is not helping me. So why would, I feel anything different than what you want me to feel, which is less than my worth. You get this? I'm coming around in the 360. And sometimes when people in that role that has the title, mother and father, what have you, they're like, oh, they did this. Oh, do this. No. Title is just that. You have to earn it. It doesn't give them the right to destroy human being spirit and their right to live and to be. And by doing that, I changed the game. Never been back. Glory to God. And I'm happy. Nothing like my childhood that a lot of people wouldn't survive it. It's hard. It's very hard. That's why I'm very compassionate to those that are on the struggle and on the journey. It's not easy, especially when they come in those types of roles in your life and they're not to play that role to be what they should. And the manipulation and the painful is opposite. So you have to stand up to that no matter who they are. The uncle, sister, whatever, cousin, mother, father, whatever. At the end of the day, we are responsible for the choices that we make and the words that we say. A parent is supposed to be encouraging so they can be adults. I had to learn everything myself. So everything I have now, I earned it. I earned it through coming through that darkness. I earned it by being patient and waiting on God to say, you are somebody of worth. That's why I keep saying that in my podcast shows. Because once you define your worth, and I did that moment, see, that's what was going on all the time. And my head was down to a little girl crying because she was saying I was this and that, and I didn't know. And I'm about 5, 7, when you can understand what's going on. When you're 2 and 3, you don't know. But when you start seeing marks on your arm, then you understand. Why is this happening to me? Why is this? Why is she smiling when she's using a straightening comb and I'm getting these scabs and scars? I'm being real with you right now because I know some of y'all have been following me, probably what my story is, and this is it. It was a horrific childhood. There was emotional abuse, physical abuse, and I survived it with the grace of God. With the grace of God, I survived, and I had to choose to survive. It's a two-way street when you get to that type of level. What you going to do? I know a lot of people say, well, you do this and you're that right. No, your will of choice is so important. That's why I teach these podcasts that you got to hold on to it, right? Don't let anybody try to control it. And you need, for me, it was a higher power, right? God. And I survived. And we can't get caught up. Where is this and that? They have this title, it's part of the family, whatever. It's in scripture too. He said, be prepared, it's going to be right in your family. And You have to be able to accept whoever bringing it. You stand firm and you say no. Because if I didn't, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to experience the experiences that I deserve and come to find out all of it was a lie. To tell all those lies to a child and grin and happy that the child is in pain, emotional pain, believing lies that they're not what anybody wants to be important or matter. Right? That's awful. And to go to bed like nothing happened and the next day is fine. And then the father just to be gone. How can you miss all those birthdays year after year? That's insane. But that's what they do. And it can come in any role. So my message to you as I end this episode, my season, and I'm laughing now because I got through all of that craziness, all that pain. Because you get tired of crying all the time. And it's not crying to move you forward. It's just crying like, oh, here we are. You get tired of that crap. And you want something better. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can. Because I've done it. And I'm living it. You know? And it's the best. So you put on your gloves, you get in that ring, and you throw a punch like you throw it because you are somebody of worth. I had to go through the trenches with no support and believe in something that I didn't see, and I just wanted to hear someone that cared about me, that they loved me. That was my wish as a child. I got it. For the grace of God. He is my mother and my father. I say it again. For the grace of God, Jesus is my mother and father. And I got up and I survived. And if I can do it, guess what? So can you. I love you. And I'm going to wrap this up today. And we're going to move forward. I'm going to get ready for my summer break. Be back in September. Oh, and I also meant to say that I haven't decided. There's some projects that I'm working on. Hint, hint. My music and Molay, my dream to turn it into a feature film and other things with the comic books and stuff like that I'm doing with Molay. So I'm really considering to do 1 time a month episodes starting in my 6th season, maybe for the next 2 years. There's some other things I want to do and I need to focus on that. I do have like another business that I'm working on that I want to kind of focus on that as well. So I'll probably make my decision no later than August. I was thinking I'd know today when I'm recording this, but I'm not sure. But I'm going back and forth on that. But it does look like I'm going to be doing it just at least once a month, releasing my episodes when I return back my next season. And then maybe at least for 2 or 3 years, maybe 2 years. And then maybe not. I might stick to just do another year, releasing it 2 times, and then after that, maybe change it to 1 year. I definitely need a break so I can kind of focus on other things. So hopefully you will still follow my show, encourage you to do that, and stay connected. Sign up to my newsletter. That's how we stay connected as well. You know, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. And I hope you have a wonderful summer, because you know I am, because I vacation. And thank you. All right. I'll see you in the next one.